give up this message. This is the third week of meeting since we started teaching about seeing Jesus. Those of you who have followed me on Facebook and then also on YouTube will know that this is, I've entitled it Saying Jesus, Saying Jesus. And therefore, it is one of the best moments. I am telling you, don't let any of these teaching, you have only 7 weeks to go through. And today is the third week. And don't let any of the teaching just, go by without you gathering information out from it. Because through this, you are going to gain a lot of access unto God, and then your joy will be full. We began by talking about Jesus Christ revealing himself unto Mary. We saw the stubbornness of Mary Magdalene, that everybody will give up and she will stay behind, and knowing exactly that it is not expedient that Jesus should sleep in the grave for that long. Even though she had no clue about what resurrection means, she would rather spoke to the angel that she saw in the grave, that if you know where they have kept him, show me that I will get him. She never even made an apology. Because she was a woman, how can you carry a dead body until the person is alive? So you can just talk about that she also had a doubt, but this woman will never budge and will go all out. He said, tell me and show me where you have placed him, and I will go get him. The him made the difference because he never used it. Anything that dies, whether you are experienced, you are a prince, you are a queen, you are whatever title you have, culturally, they call you it, article. So when you are even traveling with a dead body and then in a coffin, the coffin, it's marked article. It's marked article. So by the time you release your loved one from the airport, they are, what is titled over that coffin is article. So you are no more human being, you become an article. And so when you are also, so you know that the Jewish, they have culture. And culture, they copy, they do everything. They will never call the dead as the living. So this woman said, if you know where you have placed him, show me and I'll go get him. That tells you that the woman was going deeper than what anyone and any theologian could say, that people were faithless and people did not have belief. One thing, even if she doesn't know it, she made a statement that was very, very powerful. The him. Let me go get him. Then last week, we also studied about when Jesus entered, and then first he said, peace be unto you. Then he went on and he said again, peace be with you. So you can see that by Jesus repeating himself, unless you study it, you might think that he has repeated himself. But we saw that repetition of peace be unto you is not just the ordinary peace, but this peace is only nailed for people who are really trustworthy, those that can stick around, those that are really trustworthy. We saw it last week when we talked about that peace, what it means. This week, we are going to study the third portion of those who will see Jesus Christ. Those who will see Jesus Christ, and it's an in-depth study. And I want you to grab your pens and papers and put up some qualities to it, and then in your time, when you are having your quiet time, you can breathe upon it and then study it slow by slow, because I might go a little bit faster, not have the time to, because we have a space of 1.5 hours to cross over. And so here I want you to turn to the book of John, chapter 20, where we were reading, but this time we are going to read from verse number 42 through verse number 40. No, we're going to John chapter 20. John chapter 20. We're going to read from the 24th verse. The 24th verse. John chapter 20, verse number 24, and then we will end by verse number 31. 24, verse number 31. I want to see whether you will capture it, but I will not ask you a question because I'm recording it, and I'll put it on YouTube. It says, now Thomas called Didymus, which means twin. Thomas was a twin, meaning that he had, I don't know whether he came first or his brother came first. But the Bible only indicates him as the Didymus, meaning the twin. Some people think that Didymus means he has a twin mind, or he is what? A doubter. So they call him Thomas, the doubting Thomas, thinking that Didymus means doubter. No, Didymus means twin. One of the 12 was not with the disciples when Jesus Christ came. Jesus Christ had entered. He has showed himself. He told them that, see the prints in my hands, see the spear at my side. These are the marks to tell you that I am the same person who died on the cross, has appeared to you, and I'm not ghost. So when Thomas was not there, he heard nothing about what Jesus was talking about. The disciples had now had the belief, and they have trusted that it is Jesus, it is the Lord. Now Thomas comes in. Why would Thomas go out of them? I will explain. You see, Jesus' ministry, he met one man called Nathanael, which we normally call him Bartholomew. Nathanael, when Jesus Christ met him, this man had a lot of issue, and he had also doubts about him. So when Jesus Christ said, look, I saw you under the tree, and when you were under that fig tree, making the decision to come, I saw. So this man really saw that, how can you know where I was standing? So he made a public confession, oh my God and my Lord. So you can see that in his beginning of ministry, he disciplined someone who was a doubter. That was Nathanael. But Thomas had not revealed his true character. He was following closely, but his heart was single. There was some doubts in. Some of us are like that. We can come on this line. We can give you even prophetic word, and still you have the doubts in you. God's word will penetrate, but still you doubt that can this thing be today or be tomorrow? And this is the man who was following very carefully. And then verse 25. So the other disciples told him, I'm reading from John chapter 20 and the verse number 25. It says, so the other disciples told him, we have seen the Lord. But he said to them, unless I see the nail marks in his hand, and put my finger where the nails were, and put my hand into his side, I will not believe it. So here Thomas was given his true colors, that I will never believe it. I will never believe it. This was exact words Jesus told his disciples. See the prints in my hands. See from my side the prints of the spear on my side. Come hither and see it. Now Thomas, who was not there, repeated the same things as if Jesus knew the thought of the people if they don't see the print of the nails. I know people are going to Jerusalem. People are digging every fact. Archaeologists are digging to find out whether they will find an error. This book that we read there's no error. It's an errancy. There is no error in this Bible. Sometimes they have to go down, dig deeper, and they will find something. They say, we found a scroll. And when they come back and match the scroll to the book of Isaiah, they see that it's exactly. So they've done everything to disprove this Bible, but God knows how to preserve himself. But Thomas said that until I see it, I will never believe it. So all along, Thomas was a doubter and he never believed. Yet he followed on. Maybe even on the upper room, you remember, he followed on. He has everything to make him a believer, yet he was a doubter. Beloved, you will never see Jesus when you have a doubt about him, a little doubt about him, not about the promises that he has given to you that you doubt. No, just a doubt, a little doubt about him. Whether this is it. Sometimes some people bring some teachings and you begin to feel that whether Jesus really lived. At a point, we came to a situation that some people were going around and telling that on 25th December, God breathed out. And what he breathed out was nothing than love. And that love occupied the earth. And therefore, it wasn't something about Jesus coming, but God breathed out love. You know, but you and I know better than that. We know that Jesus was born. And so that one we can now doubt. And a little doubt inside you will put that discipline and put a hold on from you to see Jesus. And so here is Thomas. Unless I see all the hands and I see it, I will not believe it. 26. A week later, his disciples went in the house again. And Thomas was with them. Though the doors were locked, Jesus came in, stood among them, and said, peace be with you. Anytime Jesus Christ enter, beloved, we have to learn from Jesus. I don't know why people are too stubborn that they don't want to learn from Jesus. You are a child of God and you are an ambassador of God. You meet your brother, you meet your sister, you meet somebody that you have fellowship with that you can never be politically correct. Still, you use good morning to tell somebody when good morning has nothing to do. What seizes you to call to your brother, peace be unto you? Is it the kind of arrogance, or is it because you are cultured that way to say good morning? It is your lifestyle and you don't want to change. Jesus entered the room. He knows the seasonal greetings and everything. He always breathed upon them and he said, peace be unto you. We need peace to saturate us every day. Beloved, try to make it there. So when you come on this line, you say, good morning, I don't respond. Neither when you call me and you say, good afternoon, I don't respond because I know that you have to know better. It is not an arrogance. I don't respond. I respond back and I say that the Lord be with you. Because you have to change your culture. If we don't do it that way and we don't take it that higher level, you will still be the same. There's no difference between you and the world because we are citizens of the kingdom. If I teach after this teaching, I'm going to teach to you how you know that you are a citizen of the kingdom. You have to be kingdom-minded. No matter what you are, in this space we are just passing through. Jesus entered and he said, peace be with you. Is it too difficult to shout peace unto your brother or peace be upon and then claim a blessing upon your children than to just wake up in the morning, good morning and good afternoon, which pays nothing? I've told you that this is a pagan kind of greeting. They were greeting it right in the when they meet Diane. That's the goddess in Greek. That great Diane, who was the goddess of fertility. That was the greeting. I have taught you everything in your capacity to know, but yet the heart, what is in the heart cannot be. You see, it's not about proving that Jesus rose up. It is the heart, the condition of the heart. When we permanently damage this heart, it will be permanently